Hi guys, I'm Shmee, and today you join me with some rather special bonus footage from the Where's Shmee Euro Tour. So we're driving around Europe, as you probably know, in the McLaren 675 LT, my car, and today we're making a stop at Novitec, and we're here to see something very special, a car that has not yet been revealed, hence why this video is coming to you slightly later. It's all a little bit secret, and it is very, very special. Novitec have been working on an all-new Ferrari F12 N-Largo S, a car that's limited to just 11, and we're going to be able to take a very first look at it. After we see the new N-Largo S, we're also going to take a look at the Huracan N-Largo, and maybe some other treats as well. So let's go into the showroom and take a quick look around. And it is right here, with currently under a car cover. You can see the front just poking out. We will peel that back in a second, but while we're here, we also have a LaFerrari looking very, very smart, and just over to this side, the Huracan N-Largo 2 that we'll also take a look at in a moment. But let's waste no further time, and let's take a look at this new car. That is awesome, and what a colour too. So it's all new versus the earlier N-Largo. All of the panels have been redone. It's a new bumper, new pieces. It's 7 centimetres wider at the front, 14 centimetres wider at the rear. But let's take it outside and take a proper look around. Okay, is this not the best looking Ferrari F12 you have ever seen? The F12berlinetta converted to Novitec's N-Largo S. Let's take a proper look around this, because it's kind of special. There are only 11 of them. This is the very first one, shortly to make its way to its customer, who's chosen the Grigio Scuro paintwork from Ferrari, along with this sort of finish for the wheels. But this car is just bonkers. It has an entirely new sort of design to it. So the front bumper, completely created, of course, by Novitec, with the carbon chin splitter down at the front. Coming up over the bonnet, you have the new carbon aerodynamic pieces in the centre and over the side vents, which sort of bring the air, of course, down through and down to the side. On the Ferraris. Then you've got a much wider look to the car. Of course, we have that 7 centimetre wider front, 14 centimetre wider rear, and you can just see those giant arches leaning over what are some fairly large wheels, 22 inch at the rear, 21 inch at the front, and this is a design that Novitec have created just for these 11 cars. They're finished in the choice of colour for the owner on this car. Personally, I think maybe black would work better with the carbon, but it just looks so menacing. Who's to complain? As we come round to the rear, similar story. Carbon fibre rear wing all the way around, wraps around the whole car. An enlarged rear sort of lip spoiler on the back underneath that. In typical Novitec style, the blacked out badges, the blacked tail lights. Coming down, we've obviously also got the new design around here and the carbon fibre pieces for the diffuser. And I really quite like the way the design works here, the way this comes down and round and under. And if I pull back a little bit at the rear, that just looks so menacing. Well, looks to go with the sound, really. And on the sound, well, you just heard it, it's basically insane. But we've got down here the exhaust system, which is a full system. Sports exhaust, mufflers, cross pipe, and, well, it makes a lot of noise. Valve control too. And the car's also had an ECU tune to go with that, so it's making 781 horsepower. It's a good 50 up from stock. And, well, just look at the thing. Just look at this. It's insane. It's truly insane. There are, like, no other words to describe this, the new Novitec N-Largo S. don't want to keep walking around it to take it all in. But I also think it would be appropriate to hear it a little more. So let's fire it back up and show you the valve control system.
Gib mal richtig Gas.
So it starts loud and the valve closes there. We've got it in wet mode, right? So wet means valve's closed. So you can hear that the valves don't go too loud. You can immediately That is one of the best sounding cars ever. Ferrari V12s always scream. Told you about that a lot. Okay, good valve control, because that's not antisocial at all, but the noise. That is mega, absolutely mega. Lamborghini V10. It got so much quieter there all of a sudden. There we go. Yeah. Sounds good, it's going to sound even better. But let's get this car outside and take a look around it again in a little bit more detail. Alright, so the second car we're looking at here today at Novitec, I think is just as good as the first. This is the Huracan LP610-4 N-Largo. There are going to be 25 of these made, available for the Huracan LP610 in both coupe and roadster. This car is in Lamborghini's Blue Le Mans. This was the launch colour for the Aventador SV Roadster, so it's a factory colour. It's very confusing though to me, because Blue Le Mans is also the name of the colour for my Ferrari FF, which is a much, much darker blue than this colour. But this is Lamborghini's take on it. So, the Huracan N-Largo was 6 centimetres wider at the front, 12 centimetres wider at the rear. You can see there is a lot by way of the visual sort of perspective to the car, very aggressive down towards the front, extended slightly with a carbon fibre chin spoiler. We've got these sort of nostrils, aggressive style to the bonnet, just giving that sort of front end a little bit more design to it. We've got new wheels, 20 at the front, 21 at the rear, carbon fibre mirror caps, wider skirts obviously to fit in with the shaped rear, to fit those much, much wider rear arches. All the carbon fibre pieces, intake here, this whole new deck lid. I think this is really, really cool actually. The bonnet, I suppose you could call it, the engine lid. Very nice carbon design to that. Coming down through to the rear wing across the back, which has this nice shape towards the end plates, fitting over the top of the rear, which again has a new design. Carbon piece up here, whole carbon lower part of the bumper, the diffuser area, and there will be the Novitec exhaust available too for the car, although this one running on the stock exhaust system. But just like the N-Largo S, it looks insane. Such a good take on the car with the external kit and package for this. Let's take a look at the interior. Nothing from Novitec changed to the inside, but that just fits so nicely because it's a brilliant interior from Lamborghini to start, with the full digital display of course, and all the aggressive lines of the Huracan, these all the sort of triangular shapes that you see everywhere, all the grills and different bits and bobs. But this colour is really, really nice. I love the way that tucks back in. So there are going to be 25 packages for the Huracan N-Largo. And you can see why, because it's one good looking car. So we have seen 2 spectacular cars here today at Novitec. This is absolutely lovely. The Huracan is now parked up back inside the showroom, and obviously we have the LaFerrari in here too. We'll just take a quick spin around that, but we're also going to head now to back and have a look in the workshop. Something new, something special that we can't see yet at this stage. I can actually see it behind me, which is quite fun, but we'll have to keep that one a secret for slightly further in the future. In case you're wondering, by the way, that's a brilliant way to look after the paintwork with the battery charger. Very difficult to not scratch it with the cable. So that's a very nice car, but let me go have a nose at something else. All I can say is that was a rather special extra little project we've just been taking a look at, and I'll share that with you as soon as I can. For now though, we've just had a first look at the new Novitec F12 N-Largo S, and of course followed up with the Huracan N-Largo as well. Two rather special, very extreme cars. We're now continuing on the Where's Shmee Euro Tour in the 675 LT. Content you may already have seen if you're subscribed to the channel, because this was already shot. It's all very confusing. Anyway, we've got a lot still to come for us, so I'm very excited about all of this, and yeah, pretty awesome to come by Novitec again and have a good look around. Anyway, make sure you're subscribed, check out everything else from the rest of this trip, and I will catch up with you again very, very soon. Cheers! Okay, so here we go, P1 time. Got the lift system up already, that's going to make it easy to get. If Porsche offered me a GT3 RS, I would not take a second to think about buying one. Let's jump in.